and so I overbalanced, and down I went. These are true tales of my African adventures. May this inspire you, deter you, caution you, and above all, entertain you. Well, hi everybody. So, today I'd like to tell you about some of the other perils of pursuing reptiles. Indeed, any animal that moves fast, if you have to pursue it, brings with it challenges. In our game capturing days, I will tell you a bit about those too in future. Some hair-raising stories. If animals move fast, you've got to move fast. And if they go to strange places and hide in strange places, high or low, up or down, you have to pursue them there. And that brings with it its own challenges, let me tell you. So I was called to a farm. I was in the district of Barberton, down in Mpumalanga, used to be the Eastern Transvaal, very beautiful part of the country. If ever one was in South Africa, it's a place to go to, very beautiful. And in those days, that was many, many years ago, in those days it was very wild, and there was still lion there at that time that you could find occasionally. So this farm, we knew the owners of the farm quite well, and they said we must come. There's a snake. They would like us to take it away. They have so many snakes, there's not much point in taking one away, but that's the way they felt and the way they thought, and that was fine. So we turned up, and we went around the back of the house where there was this gigantic tree. I mean, really gigantic. And way up at the top was a boomslang. I mean, like really at the top. So, I mean, it was just crazy stuff. So I wasn't afraid of climbing in those days. I had no fear of heights. I did develop a fear of heights. Funny, I developed a fear of heights for climbing cliffs. So I couldn't go up a cliff anymore after some bad experiences. But I could still go to the same height in a tree without fear. Funny, isn't it? Anyway, so I said, all right, okay, it's not easy because this thing is way, way, way at the top. So it's going to take me some time to get up there. Somebody please keep an eye on the snake. And so they said they would, of course they would. My brother was there too. I took a hook stick with me up there, which I had attached to my belt. And up I went. It's quite a labor climbing a big tree like that. I can't say how high it was, whether it was 60 feet or 80 feet or 90 feet. I can't remember. I didn't see things in that way in those days. We were just like that. We were young. We hardly took photos of ourselves. We didn't carry cameras. And we didn't weigh things or measure things or anything of that nature, take notes. We just were. It was quite a freedom, really. So up I went, branch after branch after branch after branch, going up and up, getting scraped here and bumped there, and getting a leaf in your eyeball here and a knock on the head somewhere else, and eventually I arrived at the level of the snake. So it was a very big green male boomslang, nice specimen, and they were very popular at our institution. So it was, you know, a sought after type of snake. Now I had to go out on a limb, excuse the pun, which was intended, and go and hook the snake, get it in a grip. I normally took them by the tail. I never held boomslang behind the head unless I really had to, because they're back-fanged and you have to be very careful because, as I've told you with worm slang, the venom is so potent, the amount needed to kill you is microscopic. And if you get bitten, you will die. You will die. That's not you may die, you will die. Unless you get dedicated, specific worm slang antivenom. Worm, tree, slung, snake. Worm, slung, tree, snake. Very poisonous snake. But as I've also told you in the past, they are very reluctant to bite, usually. But then every now and then, a maniac worm slang turns up and he does everything in his power to bite you. That happens. Anyway, I wanted to hook him, get him by the tail, then you go down with the snake hanging in front of you and you give it a shake every time it tries to climb back up its body towards your hand. Until you get to the bottom, right at the bottom, and I would then drop it in front of my brother, who would then bag it. So now I had to move along the branch. So luckily there was a branch above me, which I could hold onto with one hand, and walk on the branch below me as I moved outwards over the lawn below. People were dwarfed at the bottom. I mean, I couldn't believe how high I was. And the snake was just lying on the branch to the left. So off I went outwards. And at one point, you see, what you do is, because you've got one hand holding the branch above, one hand on the snake stick, your feet are on the branch below. Every time you move forward a bit, you need to let go of the branch above and to grab it further ahead. And that worked very well, except at one point the branch starts becoming thinner. And I was quite heavy. So I was standing on the branch below, and I let go of the branch above, and the branch below went down too low, and I couldn't grab the branch above because I was now not tall enough, because the branch that my feet were on had gone too low. And so I overbalanced, and down I went. All those 60, 80, 100 feet, whatever it was, I went down, hitting branches all the way down, which was probably a good thing, otherwise it would have ended up at a massive velocity and probably broken every bone in my body. But I went down, hitting branch after branch, cartwheeling, somersaulting, spinning, hitting branches, until eventually I landed with an almighty, resounding thud on the ground. I lay there for a couple of minutes and then climbed back up the tree and caught the snake. And the thing is that I was in such shock from that fall, I didn't even realize that I'd climbed back up the tree till I was up at the top again. It's amazing what you do when you're young and brainless. And I actually caught the snake. It had moved, but never mind that. I caught it. I got the snake. We came down with the snake. Everyone asked me if I was okay. I said, well, I don't know. I think so. I'm standing. My legs are not broken. My arms are not broken. But boy, I had about 10,000 bruises. And over the next few days, my body was black and blue everywhere. Back, sides, chest, arms, thighs, everything was just black and blue from all the hitting and thudding on the branches, but no broken bones. It's just amazing how resilient you are at certain stages of your life. Hey, by the way, I do have Patreon, so you can join me there too.